Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new edition of our online interview series. We want to get an update from Vizsla Silver, and Michael Konnert, the CEO, is here with us. Michael, hi, how are you?
I'm very good, Jochen. Good to see you, and thanks for making time for me.
Yeah, thank you very much for you taking the time, because you must be hyper busy. First of all, I'm a shareholder of the company, and congratulations to such a great PEA. Honestly, I was astonished that the numbers were that good. I knew they are good, but that good, 85.7% IRR after tax, that's crazy good, isn't it?
Yeah, no, the outcome exceeded our expectations as well. And, I'm just, blown away to go from, consolidation 5 years ago to discovery to this PEA. It's really incredible. So we're thrilled about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you give us some more numbers? Maybe also, how did you come on such a low capex, 224 million? I mean, that is really not that much for such a great project.
No, in the grand scheme of things in the mining industry, that seems like a very low number. When you kind of dig into recent builds of similar flow sheets like Silvercrest, Las Chispas, and as a side note, our COO Simon Smirlik just basically retired from Spinco, the company that built that mill for Silvercrest, and came over to build this project. So we have a really good understanding of what it costs to build things, and this was actually a conservative capex. I know that might be hard to believe, but we had a lot of really good inputs, cost inputs directly from contractors and suppliers, far more than any other PEA that you would typically see. So the capex estimate, I think, is actually it's relatively conservative, and I think it's very it's as accurate as you can be right now on the PEA level. So that $224 million capex goes into a realm of numbers. Over it's basically 1.14 billion NPV, which is incredible. It's much more than any other kind of peer companies were at our stage, historically, Silvercrest or Meg Silver. So you look at that number and you think, wow, that's incredible. And the reason for that high NPV and high IRR is this prioritization of early cash flow and the high grade material at Copala. Copala is this very big, very high grade, near surface silver and gold vein, and because of those high grades and because of our ability to take those high grades out of the ground and run it through the mill early in the cycle of the business, that allows us for a 9-month payback, which is I think almost even more incredible. A 9-month payback in any business anywhere. I mean, these are fantastic numbers, but it also shows a 5-to-1 NPV to capex ratio, which is also industry leading. So in all ways, in every way you look at these numbers here, at least the way that I do, again, it exceeded our expectations, but it's also very much industry leading, and so we're absolutely thrilled about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. One question which came up to me is when I saw that you are using contract underground miners. Why you are not doing it by yourself?
Well, there's a really good precedent in Mexico for using contract underground miners. We want to build this mine. We want to build this company. We want to become the next major silver company out of a project like this. So you need to look at kind of various risks, right? And so scaling up, building a mine, underground mining, building a mill, and then also kind of hiring and training all these various people that haven't worked together before, and maybe don't know how to use the specific machinery that you want. It's much easier to hire one of the very many very quality contractors in Mexico. Mexico has a very long history of contract mining. They're very good, and most companies in Mexico will actually end up using contractors because of that. So we did look at trade-offs. It's something that we made sure that was the right decision, but I think it's the right decision from this point right now.
Okay, that makes absolutely sense. How did you come on the base assumptions of silver $26 and the gold price $1,975? Because let's say 2 years ago, that would have sounded a little bit ambitious.
Well, and I think in another 2 years, it's going to seem extremely low, but that's my personal opinion. And, my personal opinion, had nothing to do with this study. So we actually just took the bank consensus long-term prices, very simply, which is the guideline. That's what typically you should do is take the consensus long-term prices. So CIBC, gave those numbers, a very well-known Canadian bank, and but we also gave. I think we were very clear with sensitivities. I mean, I don't see why we would have picked a number lower than the long-term bank consensus. To me, that doesn't make sense. But what we did is let people, see the sensitivities 20%, less than the metal prices, 10% less blended metal prices. And either way you cut it, the IRR is extremely, very high, and the MPV is very high as well. Still would be industry leading. So we know that this is a type of project, because of its high grade nature, that can be very profitable. Really in any metal price environment.
Yeah, definitely. So how fast can you move now to pre-feasibility and feasibility level? Because my impression is you want to get that thing built, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's our vision to become one of the world's largest, single asset silver primary producers here with this project. And I think it's very achievable. I think it's something that we can do probably within the next 3 years. So our goal, and we've stated this here now with this PEA, is to be pouring first silver in 2027. So in order to do that, what we need to do, and I'm here I'm here in Mexico right now. We published the PEA and just started working. Of course, we want to we want to start the test mine later this year. Mid next year, we're aiming for, I should say, the second half of next year, we're aiming for the feasibility study. So we're skipping the pre-feasibility. There's no need to do the pre-feasibility at this point here. Go straight to feasibility. And we've already been working on project finance as well. So
absolutely.
We're trying to go.
I would say exactly. And you know the project extremely well, I would say, with that many holes you drilled. Exactly. So how much of the, let's say, prospective exploration land, which would be something for the future production, how much what is the percentage you have so far drilled, and where do you see further potential?
Well, I don't want to be cheeky, but there's almost potential everywhere. It's pretty incredible. But what we've done is we've shown on our recent updated presentation. It's a great map. You can kind of see the polygon where we've encircled the three main veins that make up the PEA, and it's really less than 10% of the overall veins in the entire district. Wow. But we still haven't even explored the veins that make up the PEA, to their full extent. They continue trending north-south, and they're open at depth. So there's tons of call it near mine exploration potential. And typically in these systems, you get underground, you start finding other structures in the area. So just in the PEA area, there's so much left for us to do. But we are taking the 2 rigs that we have, doing infill, and then we're moving them elsewhere in the district here, like Camelia San Dimas, which is in the southeast. There's 4 or 5 other potential centers of mass that we're working on throughout this district here. But there's still more. When I say the 10% of veins, that's only the 10% of the original property package. We've tripled our land package in the last 6 months here. Yeah. And, we have the Lagara acquisition that we made to the north. We have the San Enrique acquisition to the south. There's so much more for us to discover. And so later this year, we're using airborne EM. We're going to be able to finally do the airborne EM and some other airborne work to help us even hone into new targets even more.
Okay, super. Then the question, of course, important, money, always important to talk about. Can you go with your cash now through the feasibility until the project finance?
Yeah, fortunately we can.
Super.
We have 40 million in the bank right now, Canadian dollars. We have another, I won't make the mistake of considering, in the money warrants, it's certainly not in the bank until it is, but we have another $18 million of warrant money that are in the money that expire later this year. But even with the 40 million in the bank, we're very well funded to accomplish the test mine. We're funded for the test mine. We're funded for the feasibility study. There's a lot of catalysts coming.
Great. Fantastic. Glad to hear that, because financing, I mean, not for you, but today we both know not so easy in those markets. Then also important thing, because we got a lot of emails and phone calls from Vizsla shareholders. They are asking about the Vizsla royalty, the Spinco company. So when will that be listed? I have those shares also in my account, of course, valued with zero. But when will that be listed, and how would it work then with the exercise of the warrants?
Yeah, yeah, and for the deem value of zero, I suppose that's just a custodian thing, or everyone just.
It's a bank thing, yeah.
But effectively, it's a 5 cent value per share is what the deem value is. The warrants exercise at 5 cents as well. So if you want to exercise your warrants, which I think everybody should, reach out to our company. Jen Hansen is our corporate secretary. Jen at vizlasilver.ca, or just through our website or any of other contact points. But exercise the warrants and you get an additional share. Effectively, it was a rights offering, but easier to do internationally versus terming it a rights offering. The company should list, I would say, before the fall, or in early fall at the latest. We're working with the TSXV right now. We're expecting listing to happen as soon as possible. But again, my estimation is let's say fall. It's really in the exchange's hands right now, but it should be relatively.
Okay, super. So it's in the process.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We've done
Perfect.
everything on our
Very
side.
good.
The courts approved it. Everything's done on our side. So.
Super. Perfect. Michael, that was a great update. Thank you very much for that. And I'm pretty sure we talk very soon.
Thank you very much, Jochen. Great to see you as always.
Super. Thank you. Great to see you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Michael Konnert, the CEO of Vizsla Silver. You heard it. Fantastic PEA. Super numbers. Everything is really going extremely smooth, and they are skipping the PFS. They are going straight forward to the feasibility study, which I think makes absolutely sense with what they have drilled out and how well they know their property. And I must say, with $40 million in the bank, they can easily do that. That's also very important. So they are not under pressure. They don't need to finance. And this is always a very good thing. And to be honest, silver and gold is now taking a breather for the next big move. So I think stay tuned for that. Vizsla Silver is definitely one of the absolutely top-notch silver companies. We have here a fantastic developer. In approximately 3 years, that will be one of the largest silver mines in the world. So make sure you have the stock. I'm in. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Austria today.